Hello, my name is Puna. My project is temporal analysis of vineyard canopy height using UAV data. This study focuses on using drone-based imagery and photogrammetric processing to generate high-resolution datasets such as orthomosaics, DSM, and DEM, which are then used to analyze canopy height and its changes over 2025 growing season. This project builds a full pipeline from UAV image capture to 3D surface products and uses those outputs to quantify vineyard structure and monitor how canopy height changes through the season. So the study area is the Fruit Experiment Station Vineyard in Mountain Grove, Missouri. Data was collected from May to October 2025 using UAV imagery, including LiDAR and multispectral inputs, and processed at 5 cm resolution for row-level detail. Here is an overview of methodology. The data is processed in Agisoft, Metashape, DJI Terra, and ArcGIS Pro also. Those are some of the products that are generated during the data processing. Here, images are aligned to reconstruct camera geometry, then converted into a dense point cloud. From that, 3D surface, DSM and DM are derived, separating vegetation from ground. At every major data processing step, I use a copy of the data chunk because if something goes wrong with the data processing, I don't have to start from scratch. I can just start from the previous step, the previous data copy. In GIS, canopy height is computed as DSM minus DEM. The analysis is clipped to the vineyard boundary, and non-vine objects like trees and vehicles are excluded. Temporal change is calculated by subtracting May from October to isolate the growth. This is the digital surface model representing elevation of everything captured, that is, ground, vegetation, and structures. Higher elevations, including tree clusters and vine canopy, appear in warmer colors, while lower areas remain green. This surface is essential because it preserves the full 3D structure before separating vegetation from terrain. This is an orthomosaic of the vineyard captured in July 2025, showing mid-season canopy development. Vine rows are clearly visible, and the dataset provides a spatially accurate base for further elevation and canopy height analysis. This is the dense point cloud generated during photogrammetric processing. It contains millions of 3D points representing the vineyard surface. Ground control points are used to improve spatial accuracy, ensuring that all derived products DSM, DEM, and orthomosaic are correctly aligned in real-world coordinates. Here we see another orthomosaic generated from May UAV imagery. This serves as the base reference layer, providing true color visualization of the vineyard structure. Individual rows, gaps, and surrounding land cover are clearly visible, which helps validate spatial alignment and ensures all derived products are correctly georeferenced. Here is the hill shade visualization that enhances surface texture by simulating light and shadow. This makes subtle height differences more visible, especially along vine rows. You can clearly see the linear canopy structure and variations in density, which are harder to interpret in raw elevation data. Here is the 3D perspective view, which shows the reconstructed vineyard surface, allowing us to visually inspect canopy structure and alignment. It also helps us verify that elevation differences between vine rows and ground are accurately captured. before further analysis. So again, the canopy height is computed as DSM minus DAM. This is the May month canopy height data. Blue tones represent lower or near ground values, that is bare soil or minimum vegetation. Light whitish tones represent moderate canopy height. Orange to red tones represent higher canopy height, indicating well-developed vine canopy. This is the October data. Most vineyard rows are dominated by orange and red tones, showing that the canopy is well developed and continuous. The presence of blue areas mainly corresponds to gaps between rows or areas with minimal vegetation, while slight variations within rows indicate differences in vine growth across the field. So this is the final output. Most vineyard rows show red and orange tones indicating overall canopy growth during the growing season. However, the presence of blue patches highlights localized areas where canopy height decreased or showed variability. These reductions may be due to vine stress, pruning effects, environmental conditions, or minor photogrammetric inconsistencies.